Legacy IT systems, systems that are outdated or unsupported, plague our federal agencies. These systems prevent the federal government from effectively providing small businesses the financial and technical support they need. They hamper the ability of veterans to access their benefits and delay the Internal Revenue Service from getting millions of Americans their tax refunds. Each year, the federal government spends more than $100 billion on information technology and cyber-related investments. Unfortunately, 80% of that funding is dedicated just to maintaining aging systems. These relic IT systems present exorbitant maintenance costs, vulnerable cybersecurity postures, and unacceptable encounters for customers seeking assistance from federal agencies. Increasingly, many of them use language that is no longer taught in technology courses and campuses around the United States. Years of Inspector General and Government Accountability Office reports find that many federal agency IT modernization projects are at risk of failure, cost overruns, schedule slippages, and sometimes they lack disciplined and effective management and program oversight and governance. So Congress is faced with aging federal IT across the government and a suspect track record on projects designed to modernize that IT. That is why in 2017, I worked with my Republican counterparts to establish the Technology Modernization Fund, a fund engineered to reimagine and transform the way federal agencies invest in modern, nimble technology. We sought to reimagine how government could and should deliver services to the American people. The TMF offers agencies an opportunity to secure a consistent and flexible funding stream, enabling once impossible multi-year investments in sweeping, complex, and transformative IT projects. The TMF is designed to provide agencies assistance in their modernization efforts. Quote, at every stage of the proposal development process, from initial concept development to final award, unquote, providing technical, acquisition, and financial assistance and oversight throughout project execution. This subcommittee is the locus of IT oversight in the United States Congress, and today we seek to make sure that the tool Congress created 5 years ago to assist agencies to build systems that deliver vital government services is in fact working. Additionally, it's roughly 1 year since we secured a historic $1 billion investment in the TMF. Today, we want to check and make sure that TMF's leadership is seizing on that opportunity to restore trust in government by making federal IT systems work for customers. We must guarantee that the TMF enables quicker, more secure, and more efficient service delivery to individuals, families, and businesses. Since the Technology Modernization Fund's inception, the program has funded 23 projects across 14 federal agencies. Out of those 23, only 2 experienced schedule delays, and not a single project resulted in a cost overrun. For example, after the Department of Labor digitized its labor certification process, the agency was able to issue 176% more agricultural labor certifications and 109% more non-agricultural labor certifications, allowing small businesses to hire essential temporary employees to meet the demands of the market throughout the pandemic. In addition, these investments built IT that facilitated immediate digital access to those certifications so that farmers and other employers could avoid costly trips they formerly had to take to sign and mail documents. If properly planned for and scoped, all TMF investments share this promise of reducing costs, improving security, and facilitating better engagements with the individuals who rely on us. Monday's announcement of a $9.1 million TMF award to the National Archives and Records Administration is another example of the promise of this technology. That funding comes after months of bipartisan oversight work to reduce a years-long backlog of paper-based records that veterans need to demonstrate their eligibility for disability, pension, and other benefits. In fact, Mr. Heiss, our ranking member, and I worked together sending a letter with many of our colleagues that made the National Archives aware of this opportunity for funding. I look forward to continued oversight in that award and to make sure NARA gets this right and that our veterans receive the services they've so richly earned. Mr. Washington, a witness here today and CIO of the Department of Agriculture, also received a TMF investment on Monday for supply chain risk response. I look forward to hearing more about that project from him later in the hearing. Congratulations, Mr. Washington, on what marks the 4th TMF project you've secured for your agency. TMF is one tool that agencies can use to fund IT modernization outside of the annual appropriation process. And the program is proving incredibly successful, so successful, in fact, that demand is wildly outpacing resources. As we will hear from our witnesses today, the Board has received 130 proposals from 60 agencies and agency components, totaling more than $2.5 billion. Agencies want to get it right, and Congress ought to provide them with the resources and support to help them, because it's an investment with a payoff. As part of our oversight work today, we also want to examine ways to improve the operations of the TMF. Want to hear more from GSA about how it will prioritize which projects to fund and how they determine the repayment requirements for each of those projects. We also have heard concerns from agencies and other stakeholders that TMF can sometimes be slow to examine and fund proposals, causing delays for critical projects. If you look at the screen, there we go, you will see a bar graph of TMF appropriations and funding allocation. The two-tone bar with the diagonal line shows that despite an influx of funding and a year's worth of time, the fund still has $756 million yet to be awarded. We know that administrators have made efforts to expand the workforce and support teams, but we're still hearing frustrations about the length of time it takes to get TMF funding to agency recipients. Because of these delays, Congress did not provide the TMF with additional funding in the 2022 Omnibus Appropriations Bill, pointing to that money still not obligated or spent. During this hearing, I hope to better understand how we can improve the funding application process and streamline it, and what additional resources and authorities the TMF Board and Program Management Office might need to help that along. I'm proud to have played a part in securing a revolutionary $1 billion investment in the TMF through the American Rescue Plan in March of last year. I also support President Biden's 2023 budget request for an additional $300 million. These investments will not be enough over time, given the heavy demand that we face. I know that everyone on the dais is interested and committed to ensuring that we have a 21st century federal government that's fully equipped with up-to-date IT that is secure on behalf of our constituents. And I intend to press Congress and federal agencies to keep doing just that. With that, I recognize Mr. Biggs sitting in for the distinguished ranking member for his